All right, let's get started. Just adjusted the title. Here we go. Thanks for that. Follow Saiga. Saiga. All right. If I fuck up, just correct me.
All right. It's no big deal.
I have short-term memory loss.
I
It
think I
happens.
think
It
we all do.
happens with age, unfortunately. All right, so let's get started. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Let's go.
Well, I'm SaigaX. I guess my main characters are like schoolgirl and school memories. Just a name that's been stuck with me throughout my gaming career as a meme, kind of just stuck. But been playing Guild Wars for about I want to say about 8 or 9 months. I did buy the game, like all the expansions and stuff, in November, but I didn't get actually around playing until December of last year because SPI was full, and that's where one of my friends was, and he was like, "Hey, come play with me," and he didn't want to transfer off the server, so I had to wait until it was open. But
What'd you play before Guild Wars 2?
I mean, what didn't I play is a better question. I've literally played pretty much every big MMO. Like I played Lost Ark. I ran a large guild in Lost Ark called Helix. I ran a 200-man New World guild. Um, what else did I play? I mean, I was in some of the biggest guilds in Albion Online, Atlas, Last Oasis. I mean, I played Final Fantasy. I played World of Warcraft. I played Ultima Online.
When you came to this game, did you come straight into it for the World v World, or did you come for the
Yeah.
PvE and you stayed for the World v World?
So originally I purchased the game when it came out at release, right? And I was a big Guild Wars 1 player. And I was like, "Oh man, Guild Wars 1, it's such a good game, I love Hall of Heroes, I love the GVGs. And then I pick up Guild Wars 2 and they're like, "Oh, you can hop right into PvP." So I have my like group running in, we go into PvP and we get bored in like not even a week. We're like, this game is just awful. There's no GVGs. That's what we wanted. We wanted GVGs. So our group of friends ended up quitting like the first week. And then one of my friends, like, we're always looking for things to play, right? We're looking for like big open world mass PvP games. We're a bunch of like arcade players. We did a little bit of Cyrodiil and ESO and stuff like that. A lot of Albion and stuff like that. We really want to feel like you're in this like big war, always fighting and trying to kill each other. And one of my friends would always be on playing Guild Wars 2, and we're like, that game looks like dog shit, right? Like, because the graphics aren't the best. It's like some cartoony-ish stuff, and we always gave him like shit for years playing it because it was his like comfort game. He'd just hop on and he'd go into World v World and he'd hop on there, and then I was just like in a video game drought last year, right? So I finally caved and I was like, if I can make it to level 80 through SPVP, so through arenas or whatever, I will buy the game. So I made it to 80, and then it took me like months to make it to 80 because I just couldn't stand the leveling. I bought the expansions and everything on the Black Friday sale in the US, so like late November, and then I couldn't even play the game basically until mid-December because my friend's server was full and I was stuck on Gates of Madness, who had no one during my playtime.
Did you, when you went, so you came into it for the World v World, and did you know right out of the gates you wanted to command?
Pretty often. So I have you ever been on SPI?
Unfortunately. No,
So
I kid. I love all servers equally. But continue.
so SBI has this one person named Hottie, right? And Hottie, it's not HOTTIE, it's HAWTY, right? Because they're apparently two big personalities that are well known. And hottie is a desired taste for some people, I guess. I don't know who, but
I mean, people say that about me too, so I don't know. You can only
I don't know.
take
You
so much
seem
of
like a
that.
pretty nice guy.
I
Like,
am a nice guy. Thank you, Saiga. Thank you.
like,
I am a
and
kind and gentle soul with kind and gentle eyes. I'm sensual. I like long walks on the beach. Thank you for that. I'm glad you see the truth.
and the thing is, my Twitch chat said honestly nothing but nice things about you, and even some of the older players in my Discord as well.
Oh,
Right?
I like to hear it.
They were all like, "Oh yeah, Indo's a pretty nice guy. He's chill, you know." Like, and so when I was like on SBI the first day, right? I joined SBI, and my friend's kind of like a passive player. He just kind of goes with the flow, does whatever, roams around. He'll join groups occasionally. If you know Kix from Dog,
No.
Kix was his name's it's Kix. He used to pugman a lot for SBI during like the daytime hours, right? And my friend is like a big fan of Kix, so he didn't want to transfer off his SBI. So when I came to the server, I it wasn't during Kix's playtime. It was during the late evening, so like kind of like prime time West Coast for NA, but maybe a little bit later. And we go into World v World, and we're like, oh, I'm like, oh, Hottie's tagged up. Let's just join this tag and have a good time. Well, we join Hottie's tag. We defend a tower, and then Hottie tags down. We're like, okay. You know, maybe they had to go. They didn't say anything in squad. They didn't have to go. Well, over the course of the next hour and a half, it happened 4 more times where we joined this tag and they tagged down over and over again. And I was like, fuck this. This is awful. Like, why do people do this? Like, Hottie kept rage quitting, and then like as time has progressed, like I've seen Hottie's attitude come out in World v World chat, where they just basically trash talk everyone, like literally everyone. No one on all of SBI likes Hottie.
Okay.
So I was like, well, I need a tag, right? And I'm like,
Thanks for that follow
I'm not gonna buy a tag though. Like, what fun is that? Then I don't have a carrot, right? And then I'm gonna quit the game because it's kind of boring, right? So, I'm
So you crowdfunded your pin? Is that
no,
right?
no. I immediately, when people found out that I wanted a tag,
They bought you a pin.
they wanted to offer to buy it to me, but like I wouldn't let them buy it. Like, I wouldn't let Kix buy it. I wouldn't let Low Killu buy it. And even Connor,
Are
I think
are
it's
those
Connor
guys in
Rise.
dog?
Yeah. So
Okay,
Low
okay.
Killu is like the leader of Dog,
Okay.
quote unquote, because there was a fallout years ago between Dog and Kix is the founder of Dog, but he is no longer the leader of
Fallout
Dog.
between dog and who? Dog and lion? Please tell me some of the
Uh,
animal guild, because that would be super.
so it was Sin,
Oh,
one of
okay.
the Sin guilds.
Okay.
They call this guy Sit, I guess. And
I'm not sure.
anyway, there was a kick war inside of Dog, and basically Low ended up kicking out all the other officers, and he won the control of the Dog Guild.
Okay. Dominance by force. I dig it. I can dig it.
Yeah, and basically, so now there's another guild called Sin, where the other half of the Dog players all went, and now the guild was split into 2. But that was like years ago, apparently. So I have no idea about
So
who any
long
of these
story
people are.
short, they got you a pin. You start
I got
coming
a
for
pin. I got
dog.
a pin.
Okay, you got your
I
own
had to
pin.
do metas.
Oh
I
my
had to do
god.
fucking awful metas
All
for
right,
like
next time just
weeks.
let people get you the pin and get right into it, bro.
Yeah. No.
That sounds
There,
painful.
there will be. It was awful. It was awful. I was doing Chalk Garrett. I was doing Pinata.
Dude,
I was
trust me.
doing
I hate
Auric
PV.
Basin.
This one time to get my legendary, I had to do this event. It's like orange, purple, tangerine, Mother of Pearl Black and you run in a circle on the map. The worst, and I had to do it for like 8 hours. It was terrible. And they kept saying, "Hey, go to tangerine, then go to this other color, and then go to like red, and like purple again." And it was a disaster. It was an absolute
That
disaster.
sounds like people were just fucking with you and like,
It's quite possible, but it got me my legendary.
well, there you go. So I got my tag and I started tagging up, and like at the beginning of tagging, it was rough. It was like me, my friend, right, and like maybe like two soul beasts and a thief. Like it was awful, and I was still trying to figure out what class I wanted to command as because I was switching between. I started out as Necro, and then I switched to Mesmer,
What
and
do you command on
then
now?
Mesmer or Firebrand.
Okay. Which is
So
your
and it's
favorite of the
usually
two?
Chrono. Firebrand by far.
Really?
Like, yeah,
In
I
this
don't
current
like the
meta, you like
Mesmer.
Firebrand, huh?
I do Mesmer because it is better, but I
It
fucking hate
is. What don't
hate.
you wait? What don't you like about Mesmer commanding? It is like God commander, S tier commander.
I just don't feel. I feel like I have like the power to stay alive very very well,
Okay.
but I also don't feel like I have the power to like do anything like really really well. And
Wait, what do you mean
it,
by
it
that? What
so
in your
we
mind?
have a
What do you think that
support
Firebrand
pump.
can do better than Chrono?
I don't have to rely on other supports to give me stability. Like,
Yeah, but you
and
have
that's
Power
it.
Break, which is one of the best stabs in the game.
That is true. That is true. But I like giving. We're always down. So I'm a pugmander, right?
Me too.
So
Samesies.
yeah, and I don't know. Like,
Samesies, bro. Me too. I am a Pugmander also.
dude, the people. My quality of pugs are different than your quality of pugs. I don't think we can call your guys pugs.
I don't think you followed some of my raids. It's sometimes pretty bad. I think it's honestly, real talk though. I think it's just the role of the pugs. When you pugman, so I do pugman too. Like during the day I pugman, and at night it's my guild raids. But when I pugman during the day, it's just a role of the fucking pug. Sometimes you get pretty amazing pugs, and sometimes you just don't.
Yeah, yeah, no, and I would say the majority of the time I just don't. Um, when I command, but I mean, we have some like normal guys who come in who are always really good and really willing to switch to like Firebrand and stuff like that. But I don't always want those people in Firebrand because if I don't have them on DPS,
They're your pumpers.
then yeah, then I don't have any DPS. They're sitting
Are
like,
you? Do you command slash pugman the same hours every day? The same set
yeah,
hours?
same hours every day, every
A-
single day.
And would is a core of your group dog? Would you say?
I would say so. Yeah, yeah. But we have a lot of new players. So like one
Okay.
thing that I do since I do stream on Twitch frequently, right?
Me
I bring in a
too,
lot of
bro. We're
new.
like the same person almost.
I bring in so many new players actually. Like I've had probably 70 people transfer to SBI just to play with me
Okay.
over the past 8 months.
Okay. So you have a core
And
then.
I do have a core, but like they're all like new players and they all want to play like fucking awful like mech, heel mech, and all this other garbage
Tell them
stuff.
that's not a thing. Kill mech is
I
not a
do tell
thing.
them that's not a thing, and everyone's like ah, and I'm like no, I'm not joking,
Have you
guys.
put together a build spreadsheet for your crew? For your
I
group?
haven't, but the other commander in dog has. So Fiddy, there's another guy who runs in the morning named Fiddy, who runs like EU times, and Fiddy put together a bunch of builds. Like so the thing is, one of the things that is I'm lacking in knowledge, right, when it comes to builds and stuff.
Hmm.
Because I have played like most of the meta builds, but like I hate playing Rev. I don't think Rev's fun to play. I hate playing some of the other classes, and I just like I'm like these guys, and they're terrible classes. They're terrible. Like I love Spellbreaker. Spellbreakers are amazing. Zerkers are amazing. Necros, but being Scourge or Reaper are amazing.
Hmm.
And then Firebrands, Druids, Tempest,
Herald is
fuck all
good.
other
Power
classes.
Vindy's good. You know, Chrono's good. Verd is good. Druid is good.
Right. Right. So the thing is with all the mesmers, right? Like if I tell people that Mesmer is good, the next raid we're gonna have 20 people show up as Mesmer, and it's gonna be awful. Because like not all classes are created equally skill wise, and that's a big thing. Like I need the easiest play classes for some of these people because we have problems with them just like sticking
Well,
on tag and stuff like
have you,
that, right?
and this is just a suggestion, have you and I did this in the past, have you considered like breaking, so in my opinion, since we're talking commanders, the commander role is a managerial position first and foremost. Since you have a core and a regular core that you know, plays with you at the exact same time every day, have you considered just assigning roles to certain players so you have the base built?
We do, but again, like not they don't come every single day. Like I would say most of our players come 4 days out of the week, right?
That's still a lot,
And
bro.
it's
That's still a
it
lot.
is it is still a lot,
So that
and
means
we
four
do have
days you
those
can pound it.
players. We do have those players on core classes that are always good. Like we have the same. Usually we have the same like 3 healers every single day,
Okay, that's
and we
important.
have the same 2 firebrands every single day,
Okay.
and then we have the same 2 Zerkers every single day. But then outside of that, it's that's basically my whole core right there, right? The other ones are kind of like hit or miss, might play on the weekends or might play, once in a while. But when we go up against equally numbered groups, we don't do too bad, right? It's
Those are
just
few and far between for anybody, though.
yeah.
Equal fights. They don't happen often in this game.
No, definitely not.
But
But
continue.
usually we have people like the same people show up, and then they always have like a secondary spec that they could play on that character. Like we have so I'll use one of the guys' name is Chimp, right? His main character, he likes to play Dragon Hunter, right?
Oh no, that's part of your problem right
But
there.
he's a good firebrand. So like he'll come in and he'll be like, "Can I play Dragon Hunter?" I'll be like, "Yeah," but then if we need a firebrand, he always switches,
Okay.
And he's willing to play whatever. He just likes Dragon Hunter the best. And there are too many Dragon Hunter players on
Oh
SPI.
my
That's for one
god,
thing. Like,
it's the
you,
worst.
I hate Dragon Hunter so much because it's like this could have been a firebrand.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, let me ask you this. So my next question is, and we went off on this super tangent from my original question, but that's okay. And my next question, I've asked every single commander I've ever interviewed, just because up to, you at least, out of the previous 11 commanders that well, I'll tell you why afterwards. But if you want to share, what do you do IRL?
I'm a stay-home dad.
Okay. Have you? And the reason why I ask is, of the previous 11 commanders that I interviewed, 10 of them were essentially in positions of, managerial positions, leadership positions in school, supervisors at work. So, do you have a past history that
Yeah.
lends itself towards commanding, I suppose?
I guess I was a manager several points in my life. Um, before I graduated college, I was managing a tutoring center. I have 2 degrees, one in mathematics and one in economics. Um, and then I also managed my father's construction company when I was younger.
Okay. All right. So there's a history there. So you have kept the streak going. Now 11 of 12. There's only one person who hadn't done anything leadership-wise IRL. Interesting. And you already answered my next question. You've been commanding for what, 6 months in this game now?
Yeah, just about like 6 or 7.
Okay. And you drive on Mesmer or Firebrand. What made you want to command and tag up? That's just your style?
So there was no one else who'd do it. I'm one of
That's
those
always a
people
great
that
reason.
like I don't necessarily like commanding. I do it because
Wait,
no
really?
one
You
else
don't
will.
you don't like commanding?
No, it's I'd
Really?
much rather just sit there and mash my buttons. Like
Seriously?
yeah,
Hmm.
it's
I'm
I
like the
do
complete
it.
opposite.
If
I don't like
there's
this game as much unless I'm commanding. Real talk. I
if
do
there's
not enjoy
someone
following someone
else.
else.
Well, so the thing is, right? Like if I view someone else as incompetent,
Oh
then
no.
I'm not gonna have fun. But if they're better than me, like it's no big deal. Right? Like I'm
Interesting.
totally down for them to command.
Hmm. I'm surprised you don't like it. You seem like
Uh
so. Before agreed to interview you, I did, or after I agreed actually, but before today, I did watch some of your streams just to get a sense. I have to say, you always seem like you're having fun. You always sound pretty
oh I
positive. You know, you don't get too negative. You don't get too hard on yourself. You don't get too hard on, the people playing with you. You seem to respect your enemy pretty consistently. I don't know. It seems more or less very PMA to me.
Yeah, I'm not it's just a game, right? To me, like it's no big deal.
Wait, this is a game? Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
This is
I
not a
know a lot of
fucking game,
it's a
bro. What are you
hot take,
thinking?
right? It's a hot take, but it's just for me, it's about playing the game and having fun, and there's no reason to get upset because fuck, like none of the shit matters, right? It's so I come from like playing like hardcore survival games. Like we played a lot of hardcore survival games in my past where we would be like
Like
doing
Pac-Man?
like Rust style games, right?
Oh,
That's a better
not
way to
Pac-Man?
describe where not Pac-Man.
Pac-Man was a pretty hardcore survival game back in my day.
God, how fucking old are you? No, I'm just kidding. No,
Hey, yo, that's like the original survival game, bro. What do you mean?
no, like Atlas and stuff, right? We'd be going on these raids where we'd have like 50 dudes sitting in Discord, all attacking. Usually, it was attacking the Chinese group CSTG, and these raids would go on for like 24 hours straight, and it would really suck to die and lose in that game because you would lose all of your stuff, right? In this game, you lose nothing. There's no loss. It's nothing. Like people get so mad about dying. Like people on SBI act like when they die, they're losing 100 gold every time they die.
What is when you're commanding on SBI? How much of the map would you say of SBI? What do you call SBI people? Storm Bluffians?
Yeah, I
Bluffians?
guess.
Bluffers? Stormers? What's the fucking
I
name
don't
for 'em?
know.
Whatever. We're gonna
SBIers?
call
I don't
them
know.
Storm Bluffians. How much of these
Okay.
Storm Bluffians do you get in comms? Like 20%,
So
30%?
yeah, if that, no, probably about that. Probably maybe closer to like 40. Like
40% of the
most
Storm
most
Bluffians get in the
nights,
comms?
most
That's
nights will have like about 18 in
in
comms.
comms? Out of how much of your squad? How big is the
Out
squad?
of like usually 50.
Oh my god. That's
Yeah,
painful. It's hard
it
to find
is. It is.
success like that.
I mean, some nights we do it, but like not all nights do we have like. I would say our Discord stays around 18. Like, and that's with just like the open Discord link, and it's like people from even Koenig now coming in Discord, but it's a solid like 18, no matter who we're linked with or anything that come in Discord. And then we get our rate all the way up to 50 some nights. Most of the nights I want to say it sticks around like between 36 and 40 until it
Hmm,
starts to die down.
interesting. That's tough as a pugmander, huh?
Yeah, and it's usually the supports that get in Discord.
Hmm. I mean, they're important, but coordinated DPS spike is pretty important too.
Right. And so like I owe a lot of like how I'm like decent. I'm not like amazing, right? But I don't know. Do you know Flaws?
No.
All Father Flaws. He's leader of Dad Guild, DAD.
Mm-mm.
They're in an Australian guild. but he's I like started when I started playing, like I was playing until I don't even know, like 7 a.m. my time or something awful, just like through the night. And Flaws, I'd be able to play with Flaws a lot and the Dad Guild, and they were very, very good.
Hmm. Okay. Interesting.
But but
So
they
that
run
is
very
your
lean.
you would consider that individual your role model for commanding.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, he has helped me so much in like, and he'll join my groups. Him and all of Dad Guild will join my groups, and it's noticeable when they're not there. Like it's just straight up noticeable.
Interesting. So dog, it's an SBI based guild. How many members does it have?
I just kicked 10 people, so I think we're at 490.
And you're an officer in the guild,
I guess.
but you're the
I've
main
never
commander in
been.
the guild.
I, I don't even know. So what happened with Dog was I just joined and they just kind of kept promoting me, and now I'm
Okay.
like one of the higher ranks in the guild, and I have to deal with all the like drama when we invite random people. But I guess so. It's either me or Fitty. Fitty. So Dog kind of started running at different time zones. Like we're like the off time zone guild almost.
Hmm.
So Fitty runs at like 10 a.m. Eastern.
I haven't seen this person. That's interesting. I've seen you tag. I've never seen this other person tag.
But he runs like really early. Let me see if I can look at the thing.
Oh, no, it's okay. But
Kicks.
carry on. So you have 58 during
Yeah,
C,
and then we
basically.
had Kicks during Kicks used to command during like the afternoons.
Haven't seen that person either. I need to
But
get out more. I don't know any of
he's
these
been
people.
he's been on hiatus for the past like 3 or 4 months. I think
Okay.
he like moved or something. But he was like, oh yeah, I'm just taking the summer off, got some stuff going on in real life. And I was like, okay, whatever. It's not like I got to play with the guy. And then my time is like late NA.
Right.
So we actually have 3 different groups of people, but like they're all different time zones, like completely different. Almost no
So
one
it's
from my time
almost
zone.
it's almost like siloed within the guild itself.
Yeah. Almost no one from my time zone plays with anyone from the morning time zone, and then plays with Kicks as well.
Is it Discord active at least? So you guys are like friendly and kind of
Um,
team-ish, or is it basically three different time zones within one organization?
honestly, the like Dog is 100% a pug guild, right? Like,
It's
and I
casual.
don't.
Would you consider it
It's just
casual like?
super casual. We invite anyone. We
Mm.
literally invite
Can I
anyone.
join?
Like, if yeah, if you want to join, like you can
Yes,
join.
send me.
Like
I got two slots, two slots.
they're like we'll take anyone,
I'm waiting for my
and
invite.
I'm like whatever. Here, hold on, I have to log in. I'm not even logged in.
All right, while you're logging
Um,
in, continue.
but they they're really chill people in there. There's some like really old people that are kind of like nasty, and like,
Oh, I can't be in a guild with nasty people.
dude, we there's 2 people in there that never rep the tag and have been in there for like years, and everyone in the guild hates them. And anytime we bring it up to like Low, who's the guild leader, he's like, they've been in the guild for years, and I'm like, what? Why? Well, why does that matter?
Am
We all
I
hate
with
them.
once I join the guild, maybe I can old out nasty the old nasty. What do you
Oh
think?
man, dude, if you ever say anything to them, what's gonna happen is they're gonna be like, you know how long I've been in this guild? That's gonna be their first comeback, and then they'll be like, I can kick you,
Oh
because
no.
they've been in the guild for so long that they can kick people.
Oh no.
The
All right,
last
we'll see how
person,
long I last. We'll see how long I last.
can you type like an X in team chat?
I can't. I might get kicked from dog, friends. I might. We'll see how long I last. I shall rep it though. Here we go. Dog biscuits. Okay.
Yeah.
Joining dog biscuits. Let's rep it. Dog biscuits. All right, I'm here to go. I'm commanding for dog biscuits. Let's go. What would you say? Give me the over under 2 days, maybe 3 days. How long do you think it'll
I,
last?
I I think he'll be in there for a long time,
Oh,
and
okay,
because
really?
that basically the last person, like, so there was a group of them. There's like a group of 3 or 4 of them, and the last person like was talking about it, and then they made a comment about veterans, and boy, I did not let that stand. Like, you don't fuck with veterans. You know, they made a comment about veterans being like stupid or something like that, and I was like, that's not fucking cool. And I really ripped into them in guild chat, and then everyone else in guild chat joined in and ripping them, and then they just left the guild.
Oh,
So
okay, okay. So they're no longer here, is what you're saying?
one of them is
Oh,
no
one of
longer
them.
here.
Okay, okay.
All that person's friends is still in there. So
Okay.
because they are part of another guild called Pips and Hoes, and that's the guild that they rep, Pips and Hoes.
Sounds unoriginal.
But they're terrible players, and they play like mech and just like garbage classes. Like,
Okay. So who does the theory crafting in your guild?
um
Hey, look.
uh, people do theory. I guess we just follow the meta. Like, we don't really theory craft too
Yeah,
much.
but the
Fiddy
meta
does some
is when
stuff.
you say you follow the meta, I would argue that the meta is so fucking diverse right now. There's different guilds running different comps, and there isn't one ring to rule them all anymore.
Right. So Fiddy likes to like play with different builds and stuff, but I don't really we like, since again I'm a pug tag, right? And we don't have the power to like follow comps with a majority of our squad. We just do what we think is best on any given day. Like, we'll swap some days. We'll be like, hey, we just need every DPS that can play Zerker to play Zerker, because we're just going up against this group's really hard, and we're just going to corridor fight all day long, right? And that's basically the extent of our stuff, is just customizing our build a little bit for who we're fighting against and trying out new things. But I wouldn't call it theory crafting by a long shot.
Do you think you're gonna be able to? This is a question that someone in the Twitch chat. Do you think you'll be able to stick with commanding if your heart's not in it?
Oh yeah,
Or are you
yeah,
just
yeah.
are you
Like,
just gonna command for the guild until someone else is willing to command instead?
so, well, they have to be better than me, and that's fucking gonna be a treat. Like, one of the things that I've realized is there's a few people who have tried to command during like what I call like my time slot,
Hmm.
and they've been in dog, and they're like, hey, can I have the commander tag? And like, it's gotten to the point where I'm like, you know what, yeah, like, here you go, here's the commander tag, man. And I like pass it to them, and I'm like, this guy's commanding, guys, enjoy. And like, dude, the eruption I get out of Discord, and like the amount of people that just straight up leave, I don't know if it's gonna happen. I don't think I'm ever gonna be able to drop it.
It's hard to be a commander, though. You have to admit, like, it's if you're newer, it's very, very difficult in today's GW2 scene environment to build a solid following that's gonna be there with you through thick and thin. Unfortunately.
Right, right. And so the people that literally transferred to SBI to play with me are the ones who are there every single day. Like, even though we are and we do command underdog, it's because like I don't PvE at all. I don't do really anything, and I literally log on, and I log on to World v World, and that's it. So like, we're underdog because Low, who's been playing for 10 years, has like a bajillion gold, and he pays for all the food, all the like, he sends me daily siege and stuff like that, and it's just absurd. But that's kind of why I stuck with dog, was specifically because like I just don't have to worry about any of that stuff that I don't want to worry about.
Yeah, I mean, it is a managerial position, like I said. Keeping the siege dog, making groups, creating the meta. A lot of
Yeah,
work, to be honest, to command.
I mean, when Flaws comes in sometimes, and my stream gets really busy, I'll be like, hey, Flaws, are you busy? Can you command? And he'll come in, and he'll command in Discord. and he does a great job, and I have zero problems with that. But when we have someone who is worse than me commanding, it's definitely like a thing where we're gonna lose half of our group
Oh,
because they came here to SBI to play with me because they saw my stream and they saw how I do things and how like relaxed I am about the fights.
so let me ask you this, and you can be relaxed, but you have 487 members, right? Would you consider Dog
Yeah.
at least a World v World guild? Or
Oh
is it
yeah,
a...
yeah. Dog is solely World v World. All those members are World v World. Right now, a lot of them I would say are inactive because of kicks. And if you look at the like last online, right? Like I think our longest are like just like people that have been like higher ranks, and the rest are just people we have to go through and we have to kick
That's not bad
as
though.
time
Like,
goes on.
I mean, minus these guys, 9, 7, 4, 3, and let's just say that. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's say 9 out of 487, 2 months or older. The rest are all fucking. Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
And don't take it the wrong way. If you have this fucking type of activity, you guys should be a powerhouse, bro. Real talk.
I
Because, like,
would
look at this.
agree.
Ready? I'm showing you my stream. Look at my stream. So we have 79 members, and we have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 months, 1 month. So let's just say 5 out of 79. You out of 79, right? You're fucking 9 out of 480 fucking 7, dude. Like, you guys should be a motherfucking powerhouse.
But you have to realize it's split among 3 time zones where our main group isn't even in either the current active time zones. So
I
Kix
mean,
has been
there's an easy
commanding for
problem to that.
years.
Just do doggy one, doggy two, doggy three. Just fucking
Yeah,
load them
I,
up.
I mean, I mean that's what it eventually might boil down to. But right now, our time zone is getting stronger and stronger. So as I bring more and more people, we have had veteran players come and transfer who have been like pumpers lately, and I don't even know where they came from. Like they joined the group one day and they're like, "Hey, we're brand new players," and I'm like, and they they link their build, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to talk to you guys about your build later, but you do not have racials on your bar. That's pretty awful. Like but they were just trolling, right? And they're like powerhouse necros from some other server.
So it looks like, looking at the roster, you have a really, really large chunk of active motherfucking players, dude. Like,
Yeah, we do.
super active.
But these are spread out again amongst 3 time zones where the major activity of dog is probably early afternoons to like mid afternoon because that's when Kix has been commanding for years at that time.
Because even now, you have 73 on. That's a Q and a half, literally.
Yeah. Some of those players like
Someone just needs to take fucking control and strong arm this shit into some discipline, and you guys got fucking. Honestly, like, I'll relay this a different way. You know VIP, right? You've heard of VIP?
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they've more or less they had a period in the beginning of the game, maybe like a phase of like 3 or 4 months, maybe 5 months, where they used to be all right back when the game, first came out, first 6, 7 months, and then there was
Mhm.
about that middle gap of like 9.5, 10 years now where they're just kind of whatever. But there's that one commander. There's this one commander in VIP. I don't know who it is, but he's taken the reins of fucking VIP, and he's kind of slowly turning them into a fucking powerhouse. So they have a lot of commanders, and they might be mediocre to sub-mediocre to maybe even shit, most of the time. But that one commander really is trying to turn it around with VIP, because the strength that you have, that they have in guilds like yours, is that you have the force, you have the numbers. After that, you put up a comp, you put up, meta players. That's 50% win rate right there, dude. Like, that's all it takes. The barrier for success, the threshold for success in this game is fairly low.
I would say overall we're doing pretty well. We have started actually doing weekly trainings in order to improve our players and make them understand like how each class is run, because like I said, we do have some veteran players who are better at the game and have been able to take newer players. Like uh, I think in the past week alone, just to put it in perspective, I've had 5 brand new players come to SBI and join Dog.
That's cool.
And I mean like brand new, like fresh out of the wrapping paper players. Like
No,
you
like
could,
honestly, like new players, it's fine. New players are great because long as they're not stubborn, right? If they're a new
right?
player but they're willing to play for the team and not play for their own selfish whatever the fuck, you can find success with that. Inexperience you can change, stubbornness you just can't. So if they're willing to play any class for the team and learn to try to be better, that's where you got to start.
All of
You
them
have
want
two
to play
options, right?
fucking mesmers, man.
That, I
That's
mean,
the
that's
worst
okay.
part.
You have two options, right? In this game currently, for my even for my guild, let's just put it for my guild. For my guild or any guild, you have two options. You can either try to get an experienced player, which is fuck hard to do in 2023 GW2 because all the experienced players are settled. For all intents and purposes, most of the experienced players are settled. They're settled in a guild and they're happy. They don't care to move their guild. They don't care to move their server. So the only thing left is new players. And with new players, you just got to be willing to put in the effort to train. So assuming that you're not going to get a lot of experienced players unless it's their alts, then you have to train new players. And that's the only way to build a successful guild, World v World guild in GW2 today.
Yeah,
So the fact that you're willing to do it is great. It's fantastic.
that's exactly what we're doing. We're doing so we've done 4 classes so far. We've done Tempest, Zerker, Firebrand, and Reaper slash Scourge so far for our trainings. And I think we're gonna continue doing them every week as long as the guy who does them is like available, because he's like one of our best players. So, and he's been playing for like a long time. And he can play basically all the classes at like the 90th percentile, you know. So
Okay. I mean, that's what it takes nowadays. You can't, no, anyone that's expecting, even myself included or any other guild included, if you're expecting pre-trained, fully ready to go players to join your guild, especially if you're a newer guild or just starting up or trying to get your bearing, it's an unreasonable expectation. The effort should be committed towards training up the existing player base and creating, solid activity and solid comp meta play, quite frankly.
right, and that's what we're trying to do. We do have some people who are super fucking stubborn and only want to play like the worst classes, but
Send them to Doggy
most of our
4.
people.
Create a Doggy 4, so you do Doggy 1 is one time zone, Doggy 2 is another time zone, Doggy 3 is another time zone. Load them up, and then send the Mechanists and Rangers to Doggy 4.
Dude, that
Send them
Doggy
to
4
Puppy.
guild's gonna have like
Call the
350
call the
people
fourth guild Puppy.
members.
Call the fourth guild Puppy, and there you go.
350 members in Doggy 4, dude.
There's no, yeah, I don't know if that's the case. There's been some dog players that have joined my Discord, and they're nice people. They know what they're doing. You do have some diamonds in there, to be sure.
Oh, no,
It might be
100%.
diluted for sure. It's diluted, but you're not. It's not all fucking bad players across the board. I think you're selling yourself short a little bit there.
No, but we do have a lot of roamers, right? Who just want to play Thief all day long. They're like, "Hey, can I come to Thief in your group?" I'm like, "You can, but I'm not going to give you supports." Like, and they're like, "What about if I play Spectre?" And I'm like, "Okay, I can accept one Spectre. That's it. Only one, no other Spectre."
Interesting. I'm actually gonna be very. I'm gonna watch you and your guild with interest after today. After having this conversation, it seems like you have a plan. I really hope you can make success out of it. Truly.
I mean, we're trying. I would say, like, compared to where I started, I feel very successful. Because where I started it was just me and, like, fucking 2 soul beasts and a thief, and my buddy as a healer, and I was on Firebrand, right? So we had DPS, healing, we had the Holy Trinity in that group, but Now we've expanded to that, and like we actually can run, at most nights like four Holy Trinity groups, even if some of those DPS are soul beasts.
Interesting. Well, progress is progress.
That being said, I don't believe Soul Beast is entirely dog shit. Just most people who play it are.
Yes, agreed. There are some. It has a very high skill cap
Like,
to it to
like,
make it
do you
successful.
know Kiyoshi?
Yes, the streamer Kiyoshi.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So he
yeah,
used to be on SBI with Girl, right?
yeah. He's a nice guy.
And he was like, "Here, let me show you guys this." And he goes and he swaps to Soul Beast. And I'm like, "Oh, great! Now you're swapping your Zerker to Soul Beast." And don't get me wrong, he didn't pull Zerker numbers, but he was still like in the top, one or two of DPS on a Soul Beast.
All right.
It's just most people don't play Soul Beast right.
Yeah, true. So let me ask you this: who would you consider is Dog's arch nemesis guild? Who is your guild that you guys love fighting against? You
Oh,
consider your
dude,
toughest fight?
it's hate. It's hate.
Bullyfoot's guild?
Yeah, Bullyfoot.
Do you guys go toe to toe?
Yeah. Actually, like we beat Bullyfoot's guild. He's not gonna like
Nice.
that I said that.
Nah, the truth's the truth. Well, here's what I'll say about Bullyfoot. Number one, the guy is a really, really good guy, and he's a competitor, and he doesn't complain about like he'll rage when he loses, but he's not that type of dude that's gonna cry about it.
No,
So,
he comes in my chat and the most notable. That's when I feel like I had made it as a commander. So I've known Bullyfoot like off and on from different streams because like one of the people in your chat, Anti Rain, streams as well, and
yes.
Bullyfoot and I do you know Nova as well from WK? Like I know them very well. Like
I know Nova through.
Ty.
Hold on, let me play for everybody.
Can we play some fucking Guild Wars 2 here, boys? I need lines, boys. I need lines.
Dude, I fucking love Nova. I love Nova. Nova actually comes to SBI and he plays with me. Tyrone.
I give him a lot of shit, but Nova's a nice guy. He has his moments where he's like, bro, just chillax a bit, but he's a good enough guy.
Yeah, no. I love playing with Nova. Nova had transferred one of his alts to SBI, plays with me. Tyrone from Bullyfoot's guild transferred to SBI and plays with me, even though dude, that guy OD'd on marijuana. So like that's enough said about that.
That's funny. All right, well
But,
that's cool. I'm glad that you have a healthy rivalry.
Yeah, no. The fights with Bullyfoot are always pretty good as long as we have the people, right?
Of course,
Like,
numbers being
obviously-
equitable. Numbers being equitable.
Yeah. Like we have to have like equal groups, and I like the one fight that I remember between them the last time we were up against FA. We were fighting over by the fucking frogs, and we're just going back. And Tyrone is in their group, but he's like watching my stream, and he's like, we keep crashing into them, and he's like, that one didn't count. That one didn't count. Let's go again. That one didn't count. Bullyfoot was eating a sandwich, and he like excuse after excuse. And I feel like that night we really stomped them in those specific fights. And man, dude, Bullyfoot was not happy with that. But Bullyfoot's a very nice guy, and I definitely enjoy the fights with him. And some nights they have very, very strong groups.
Yeah. No, Bullyfoot and I have known each other a long fucking time. We have a great time always fighting one another. The thing is, we talk a little bit of smack to each other. We never talk shit, but we do talk a little bit of smack to one another in tells, while we're fighting. And then at the end, you'd be like, "Yo, bro, good game, good fights."
Yeah, no, for sure.
He's one of the very, very few commanders that can take a little smack talk without taking it personally. Because most commanders get like butthurt and salty when you do a little it's not shit talk. Like shit talk is different, but just a little bit of game smack talk, and it makes it a little bit fun. But Bullyfoot's one of those people that can talk a good healthy amount of smack and then not take it personally.
The only guild that I think took something personally from me was this guild called the Reap. And they're like a small roaming guild, right, on Crystal Desert. But I was like one night I said something about Siege, man. I was like, man, the server really loves their Siege, dude. Siege fucking everywhere. Cause like every keep tower is just like plastered with like 10 plus pieces of siege, dude. And then for the past like 2.5 months, every time we fight against Crystal Desert, all their members in Reap, they all switch to mesmers and engineers, and they just mow me and pull me the whole night.
So that might be the answer to my next question. Who's your least favorite commander to fight?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't consider them a commander because they don't.
Okay.
They're just like, you know, whatever. But my least favorite probably to fight is, do you know Claire?
The OCX commander on SOS?
Nice. I don't know what server they're on. They're on Nice. But dude, Claire, Claire is a PPT commander. Let's just be clear about that. And the reason why they're my least favorite commander to fight is because I fucking hate chasing them. I chase them,
that's a
and
different reason. How about just fighting wise? Would you hate like actual fighting?
Fighting, whoever the commander for Coin is, like,
Okay.
Coin is fucking strong, dude. Like, I don't know if it's just they're rolling 50 deep, but they're like really, really strong. They're always hard to fight. Like, even when I feel like we win, we don't like really win. When it isn't like 100% decisive, it's like, man, we barely beat these guys, and it feels really good. But man, the losses are just terrible.
Okay, well, so you gotta get some healthy rivalries going. Let me ask you this. So you've played a lot of MMOs. You are newer commander, though not new at leading, you know, groups.
Right.
What are your thoughts of the direction ANET has stated they're taking World v World? From that
I don't think
perspective.
I don't think it's gonna work. I don't think it's gonna work. Alliances are, in the current state, alliances are going to straight up fail.
Why do you think that? Why do you think that?
So okay. The whole idea behind alliances is like server balance, right? They want to be able to balance the servers more fairly and have more equality between like teams and time zones and all that and points and stuff like that. But what has failed it is that the players have already broken it. And the way the players have broken it is they've taken these huge alliances. And if you look at like the Battletoads alliance, right, that Penguins runs, it's a perfect example of this. So the Battletoads alliance isn't one guild. It's what, like 5 or 6 guilds. And they're all in the same guild for World v World alliances. So you take a bunch of really skilled players and you put them all in one server with like to be honest with you, 500 players isn't really a player cap, right? You take that and you can basically put 500 of the best players in the same guild and stack the hell out of a time zone, a server, and just make it unfun for anyone to play. And that's what the players have done. In my mind, the best thing that they could do is they could take these alliances and make them run 50 players per alliance, or 100 players, or 75, somewhere around in that range, you know, and just be like, okay, that's enough for your time zone to run a 25-man 20 group or whatever. And then, you know, if you need more than that, you have to kick the inactive players, and they just have to roll the dice.
How do you propose that working? And sorry to interrupt. How do you propose that working with guilds like yours that has a 487-man roster?
So guilds like mine would just have to split based on time zone. Like, and I know that would hit some players who play multiple time zones hard, but I think that would be the best thing for World v World, because in this current state, alliances is going to straight up destroy World v World. And it's not going to be ANET's fault. It's going to be the players' fault.
Well, the thing about it is though, like, and I see where your concern is, but I don't think like Penguins Alliance, if you know, assuming it's like Penguins Group and BBC, like they're strong, but they're not impossible to kill. Number one.
No,
but number
they
two,
aren't.
I think that if guilds overstack an alliance, they're just gonna kill their own action. They're gonna get bored very, very quickly. So, I foresee, just like many games that have alliances, they're gonna be the alliances that you start the system with are not gonna be the alliances that carry on in the system after 6 months. Like, and you see that already. Like, if you want to call everything that's happened thus far a pre-alliance, like 25 of the pre-alliances, if not 30 to 40% of the pre-alliances are already, like, they're finished. Like, they're all changed. Nothing is the same. So politics always gets involved. That's just human nature in these things. And whether it's due to people being like, yo, we're killing everything, I'm fucking bored, I want some competition, or just drama, bullshit, and typical kind of power play politics, I don't foresee these alliances like lasting forever. There's gonna be a lot of momentum. But I understand your point, and it might be the case initially.
Right, and I don't think that the Battletoads or the BBC Alliance or whatever is going to be, you know, just that. Once Alliance is officially launches, I could very well see, like, you know, the Battletoads Alliance grouping up with other guilds or other alliances that, you know, want to pad their roster. You know, maybe they're like, oh, our Borderlands are weak, you know, you be a Borderland guild this week, I'll be the Borderland guild next week, you know, and swap off like that, and then you'll have like basically an unstoppable server. And
I don't
really
see
think
that happening. I don't see that happening nowadays.
I mean, like you look at our previous alliance like thing. It was trash. Like my link was awful.
That's ANET's fault for stacking fucking alliances the way they did. I agree with you on that point. 1,000% ANET cannot just, like, the algorithm that they used to create the last one was absolute dog shit. Like, absolute fucking dog shit. But I don't know whether it was random or whatever, but it was terrible. But as long as they can split up these alliances, I do believe, you know, to the best of their ability, it's the only way to rebalance this, because right now there's servers that are just incredibly stacked. The other alternative, nuke every server. Just nuke it all and have people start over.
Yeah, no. That's what I was saying. Like, you know, like allow the players like create a world v world guild. Like, you know, everyone could be in 1 or 2 world v world guilds, so that way you have multiple time zones, right? And that way you kind of have servers to choose from, right? Make it a cash shop item. There we go. So you get 1 free World v World guild, and then every World v World guild after that, you have to pay, you know, $20, whatever. So then it adds a World v World guild slot. Each World v World guild is capped at 50, 75, 100, right? Enough for a specific time zone over a period for, you know, nearly a map queue or half of a map queue, you know, assuming 80% attendance rate or even something less than that, even like 50 or 60. But something like that, and then all of a sudden you have all these smaller guilds that it's way easier to run an algorithm such as they did last alliance on those. And that's just how the math works, right? It's much easier to balance 2 piles of sand than 2 piles of bricks, right?
Let me ask you this: would you be acceptable to say a merc option? Say there was an option where a guild would be capped at, like your idea, say 100 players on their roster, and the smirk option is the guild is capped at 100 players and is not, I repeat, is not allowed to ally with anyone, but with that sacrifice they get slightly additional rewards. Would you be okay with that as a player who's in a larger guild?
Yeah. No. I would honestly, I'd straight up just like leave the guild and we'd farm dog 1, dog 2, dog 3, or something along those lines.
I think personally, I think it's a good idea. Like, if there's a way then for the masses to mass, and then there's a way for the smaller guilds to fucking, you know, be able to, you know, get a little bit of bonus, but then a little bit of con. They can't ally with anyone. They're by themselves.
Well,
and then they're thrown in with, like, no singular guild gets thrown in with another singular guild. So then it's a mishmash of alliances and then merc guilds.
Right, and I mean, honestly, what we don't want, and I think most of the groups as a community don't necessarily like this. We don't want another Maguma, right? We don't need more Maguma-like servers where it's just a bunch of roamers who run slipper-ass builds to evade dying constantly, and it's just not fun to fight.
Magoon was honestly whatever. They're overrated.
I think they
I've
are
never found
overrated
Magoon.
skill
I've
wise,
never
but
found
I just
Magoon to be challenging.
I don't necessarily think they're challenging. They're just annoying. Like, and it might be the mindset that like it's rubbed off on me. Like, so the reason why I know Penguin's group, right, and all that stuff is because they were on SBI when I started, right? And it was a very pivotal moment for me where I realized that I don't necessarily like pure fight guilds, right?
Wait,
And what
why?
happened
Why
was,
don't you like pure fight guilds?
well, so even though like I don't consider Dog a pure fight guild, right? But you
Okay.
you have like Penguin's group, which don't get me wrong, Penguin is not responsible for this. Let me be clear. This is just what happened on SBI. So when SBI was in tier 2, right? And there were rumors floating that Penguin's group was going to transfer if we hit tier 1, right? If we hit tier 1, Penguin's group's going to transfer off. So everyone on the server, even some of the fucking boomers in my guild in Dog, thankfully some of them are gone now, but some of those people that I dislike were spamming in guild chat, no one play this week. And World v World chat was the same, no one play this week. We don't want Penguin to leave. Like, if you PPT this week, you're fucking idiot. And like you just got trash talked to hell. Like it was awful. It was awful. It was like everyone needs to sit on their hands this week and not play the game. And it's because Penguins is going to transfer. And World v World chat was more of the same, and it was an awful experience.
I could maybe see that like years ago, but who gives a fuck nowadays? They're gone in 2 months anyways.
Well, yeah, well now they are, but like this literally happened like 3 months ago.
No, but even 3 months ago, like at this point, like there's no reason why anyone should care whether their guild transfers or stays, unless they're in your guild.
That's what I was, and that's where I was at, and like I was like at that point I was like, fuck this Penguin guy, dude. Like I didn't know Penguin, and I was just getting commanding up at that time, right? And I was just like, fuck this Penguin guy. He's being a toxic piece of shit, telling people to spam this and everything. And I was telling my friends on Maguma to like, when we went up to tier 1 eventually, right? I was like, snipe the fuck out of this guy. Here's what he looks like, right? And he sent me a message. He's like, why are you telling people to pin snipe me? And I'm like, I'm not telling people to pin snipe you, for one thing, because you weren't tagged up at the time. I was just telling people what you look like to kill you. And he's like, that's not cool, man. I'm like, well, you told this. And he's like, no. I explicitly told my guys not to do that and not to say anything. But, I can't control everyone. And it just bled out into it. It caused a bunch of internal grief within Dog. And I fucking basically told a bunch of people they're fucking bootlickers for doing this shit because...
Bootlickers.
Yeah, straight up bootlickers. Dude, I've never, so to go after what about Indo? I've never had problems with Indo.
What do you mean? What about it? Who said that?
Someone in your chat.
Oh, someone in the Twitch.
Yeah.
Yo, I am a nice fucking guy. Like, don't listen to these fucking rumors, bro.
But yeah, no. Penguins actually, like, we hashed out in PMs and was a wonderful person, and he's like, dude, we're gonna transfer if we transfer and everything. And I was like, yeah, good on you. Like, I just, it was a terrible experience for me, and I really was tired of that shit with the majority of things. So that's why, like, I've kind of made it my thing where I'm never gonna transfer off of SBI, and I'm never gonna really like seriously pursue a guild to transfer to SBI. I just want individuals who play during my playtime to come to SBI and play with me and make SBI stronger, so that way we don't have to be, under the thumb of these
Beholden.
fight guilds. Beholden. There we go. Beholden to these fight guilds that are
fuck them fight
that are always
guilds.
transferring all over.
Am I right? Fuck them fight guilds.
Yeah,
right?
I agree.
Fuck them.
Tyrone says X-ring SBI is so cringe. I'm pretty sure he extra'd 2 of his characters to SBI in the past month. So
sounds like a Tyrone thing to do, actually.
He might have done one while he was ODing on marijuana.
Oh no, Tyrone, is this true?
Did you not
What?
hear this story?
No, but let me ask you this: so so besides alliances, what do you think about the current balance and gameplay changes? What do you think about that?
So I want Boon Ball to be still viable but different. I think it's a little strong right now. If you have a group that's like really focused on these little blinking buffs on your bar, it makes them very, very strong, and I wish that wasn't necessarily the
Let me
case.
ask you this though: how you and this is just me playing a little bit devil's advocate. How do you can't have it both ways, right? You don't want a Maguma,
You
but you don't want a Boon Ball. Like, how do you? What do you
can't
want?
like so like I don't necessarily want it. I still like the ball, right?
Okay.
I just don't want it to be full of boons, right? I'm totally down with the ball. I think that stability needs to change in how it works, whether that's lower duration, and same with immobilized, right? Immobilized needs to go up in cleanse priority, personally speaking. But I think they need to lower the duration of stability or something, just so stability is more of a high skill thing. So you pop stability when you think you're going to be spiked and stuff like that, and it isn't necessarily up 100% of the time. So it doesn't completely destroy the boon ball, but it's still viable. And then also, I think that TTK, or time to kill, needs to be increased across the board. And I don't mean something like necessarily like a toughness increase, right? Because toughness means that sustain is going to be increased. I don't want sustain to be increased. I want time to kill to be increased. So I think like vitality buffs across the board in maybe double or even triple the quantities there are now. So we actually have these big battles where it's not like, oh fuck, like my firebrand cat is in the microwave, he had to go and get it out, and then it wipes the whole group. It's more
I
like,
think I think, and this is just my opinion, that's a big ask with a 5-person mid cap. Number one, but number two, if you make time to kill that far deep with the amount of res abilities that are in this game is going to turn into a pirate ship fiesta, unfortunately. I think the
that's
way to
fair,
fix
that's
that is
fair.
to if you want to minimize the amount of range damage and then increase the amount of 240 damage, that could be an option to accomplish what you're looking to do. But unless you do something like that, it's gonna be a fucking nightmare and a half, quite frankly. I think.
No, and like, I'm not someone who's like super big on this, but like you look at like every single game that has run something like this, and Arcade was really big in the Moonball back in the day, like really, really big. Everyone just stacked and spammed heals, and it was straight up awful. And I don't necessarily like the Boon Ball meta in that sense. I just wish that it was. I wish that time to kill was increased, and maybe get rid of reses or something like that, or
But it is.
make
It's
them.
really hard to kill an organized group nowadays. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if the fights that you're having are different than the fights that I'm having, but I think time to kill is actually really high already.
Right. But so the reason why I want the HP increase is because I want it to level out okay, by having a higher HP pool, I feel like it allows for another mistake, basically. And that's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see the skill like floor raised a little bit, just a little bit, because you have to realize it's extremely unfriendly to new players to get into World v World and do well when they, you know, have to worry about all these buffs and all this other stuff. And I feel like increasing vitality, at to like double or something, might make it a little bit more easy for them to get
Wh-
used to pressing their buttons and whatnot.
Which might be true, but at the end of the day, the problem with that is that you have all these fucking, and I don't think your answer necessarily will fix the problem, because what you're still gonna have is a problem that even I have with some of my players, is that They just want to see big motherfucking numbers, bro. Like I tell some of these baboons to get off pure Zerk and throw in some Marauder so you have a little bit of a buffer, but no. I'm gonna run pure fucking Zerk, give myself zero fucking window for, like error, and these dudes put up huge fucking numbers, but dude, one mistake and they're fucking one pushed, right? So
Right.
I don't know if that's exactly the answer, because even right now you could put these newer players on Wanderers if you needed to. You could put them on fucking what's the Sentinels if you really wanted to. They won't be max damage, but at least they won't die on ink. But are you gonna convince them to run it? No, you're not gonna fucking convince them to run it, because no one wants to see fucking their numbers get diminished. They all want to do big dick damage without being capable of doing big dick damage.
No, I totally agree, and that's why I think like just like a vitality increase across the board might be better, and then eliminate some of the boons.
There was this guild back in the day, back in 2013, and it was a guild that ran. There was a 50-man blob that ran. I think it was called Zadrots. Correct me if I'm wrong, Twitch. They were on BG during seasons. There was a 50-man guild that ran pure fucking nomads. Everybody, and they were impossible to kill. Impossible to fucking kill. Across the motherfucking board, 50 players with motherfucking nomads. And I would argue that if you had 50 players of nomads today, it would still be impossible to kill. And I would still argue that it'd still be fucking broken today, but guess what? No one wants to play a 50-man nomad blob. I bet you a 50-man nomad blob would just tank the shit out of everything. Throw it all on nomads and throw it all on durability and call it a fucking day. And just be done with it. But no one wants to play it. It was broken back then, and it'll probably still be broken today. But no one's gonna do it because it's not fun to play. Like, that shit was impossible to kill. Impossible to kill.
So I've never heard this, right? But yeah, that seems fucking fire to me, man. Like, dude, I think I need to try out some fucking nomads with durability runes, guys.
Oh no, please don't. It was bad enough that shit. I was so happy when that shit died. I'm actually,
so
if you do it one night, I'm actually curious to see if it'd still run today like it did back then. Back then it was broken, busted back then, but I haven't seen it done since then.
Honestly, like I think like out of our entire group, I think like 5 people have legendary armor, and so like I don't think the Nomad's dream would ever happen.
I don't know if anyone ever remembered fighting that fucking guild, but it was absolutely fucking busted. And durability runes didn't exist back then, and it was still so fucking broken. I can't imagine if a 50-man blob did that today.
Man, that sounds juicy as fuck.
But that's basically what you're talking about, by the way.
Yeah,
your rope forever. That's exactly your rope forever with a 50-man nomad blob is fucking quadrupled. Forget about just a little bit more. Like, you can make absolute 100% errors in your fucking Scoochie Maguchi.
Well, so the thing is, right? Like, I want it to be 2 clashes or something like that. Like, I want it to be more of a jousting meta. Like right now we do have the joust meta where we like run 2 blobs at each other, you know, all stacked really nicely, and then whoever comes out, you know, eats the other blob's tail and they win, right? You know? And I think that in order to make that more friendly to new players would be just increase the HP, maybe decrease the healing, actually just straight up decrease healing across the board, and make it so that it's normal for players to not be at 100% HP in World v World. Right?
So then just run your blob and Sentinels. Go Sentinels Minstrel and call it a fucking day. If that's what you're looking for, you can accomplish that in today's World v World.
That's what I want. Maybe that's what I need. I mean, the part of the problem is, right, like, at least as far as
DPS do no damage, so if you want that extra buffer, have them run Sentinels. They'll do less damage than they would in Marauders or Zerkers, but they'll stay alive. So over the period of the fight,
that's what I want.
They'll accomplish your goal.
That's what I want, but like, dude, that's like, again, I'm a pugmander. That's a big ask for me to like be able to. I wish I could be like, hey guys, we're all running Nomads gear tonight, dude. people would just like not show up. They'd be like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm gonna
so
stick to my
you can't have your cake and eat it
Marauders."
too, though, right? Like, and
Yeah.
tell you what, if you ever try, or if anyone on any server tries an old school 2013 Nomads blob, I'll come +1 that to see if it's still viable today. And if something busted comes out of this, it's not my fault.
Dude, that sounds fucking fire. Oh my god. Hold on. I'm gonna have to PM Bullyfoot. Maybe we can make it happen with hate. I know that those guys have been around forever. It's a bunch of boomers with all legendary gear. I'll see if my guild leader will run it. Hell yeah. At gamer in chat.
Oh no. I don't know. I think, you know, you're making some fair points. I just don't know how you'd accomplish that in this current
Right.
game.
And like again, I'm not the most knowledgeable person, right? I don't know every ability in the game. I don't know how every interaction would be, and certainly it would have to be tested. But even if like, you know, to again, like to keep World v World fresh, one thing that they could do, could you imagine just like a week of that? Just like a week, just test out these like random things, right?
I'm not opposed to that. I'm not opposed
Like
to that at all.
and see like, you know, maybe 1 week, you know, we'll find something that's like fucking great and the whole community loves it and it just sticks.
But you kind of have that, and I was just hovering over the structural buff. You kind of have that. Like, the defender buff is broken fucking as fuck, dude. Like,
Right.
and there's, you know, we all know the guilds out there that just fucking hump structural a lot, but like, the structural buff is essentially what you're talking about. You know, the group that has that structural extra 100 of every stat, you know, and then if they have like the fucking world bonus on top of it, they're pretty busted, honestly.
Yeah, I've never thought about that structural buff. Like most of my fights don't involve structures, I would say, because I honestly, like, for some reason, like, our people cannot wrap their head around destroying siege, or maybe we just don't run the right classes to destroy siege, or what. It's always a headache fucking pushing a bunch of siege. So if I push a bunch of siege, usually it's like asking for half the group to die. As someone who's been in hate for at least 6 years, we're down for trying anything that gets us more and better fights. Damn.
Interesting. Any other ideas that you'd like to see in it implement?
I don't know. That's basically it. I really can't think of anything else. Like just rotating World v Worlds. I also think, like, you know, because the community has decided these tiers don't matter and all this, like switching up
Get rid
links
of
more
fucking
frequently.
Tiers.
Get rid of tiers, switch
Get
up
rid of
links.
tiers and just make it random. Why go
Random
one up, one
every
down?
week.
Make it
Yep.
random every week. They're
Every
fucking
week,
Bopperville
new
over there.
link.
You know, when this game first came out, I don't know if you knew this, and I don't know if many of our Twitch knew this. When this game first released, all right, and World v World is out, they used to have for 2 weeks, they had 20, when they were first setting up the Glico, for 2 weeks they had 24-hour matches. Every 24-hour matches, you'd be placed against a random server. Every 24 hours for 2 weeks. And then for the next 2 weeks, they had 3-day random matches. The Glico wasn't established in this game until month 2. So, you know, initially every 1 day you'd have a new opponent, 2 new opponents, and then later on every 3 days you'd have two new opponents. And then it wasn't until later they established that Glico, and then we had the Glico wall that never fucking broke, and then now this bullshit. But nowadays they should just cut the fucking tier system and just make it random matches. Call it a fucking day.
I 100% agree. They need to like you get linked with like a dead server or something for 2 months, you're fucking, it's done. Like half those players are just out for 2 months. I'd also like to see, you know, I know this goes against what you guys do, but I'd also like to see a time gate on transfers and real money only transfers.
Oh, listen, buddy. What? Why? Let me ask you this. Why?
Why? Because
Yes.
I think that it destroys servers.
But let me ask you this, all right? And let me say this. But are servers even relevant today?
No. I think
So if
that they
servers are
aren't, and
relevant,
I
who
think
gives a fuck? Because if you're stuck on a shitty link for 2 months, you know what that does? That destroys guilds.
yeah.
To be
No,
honest with you.
no, no, and that's why I'm saying like I think like both, right? You make it so they can't transfer every for maybe 2 months, right? But then they also bring the link time down to a week or something like that, or 2 weeks, whatever.
Uh, okay. I mean, I could live with that if you want to increase the downtime. Like right now,
Ju-
there theoretically is no downtime. The downtime is the reward loss for a week and a half, maybe. But there is
yeah,
no really lock to it. Like you could just leave the next week. But if you wanted to bring the lock to like 2 weeks, I guess maybe.
yeah, just like lock 2 weeks and then link 2 weeks as well.
Anything on your wish list?
Not really, no.
No.
Firebrand buffs, maybe.
Any? Did you ever play original Fire? No, you didn't. Of course you
No,
didn't.
no.
Ages ago. It was a bomber. It was an absolute fucking killer class. How about any wish list for commanders? Is there any tools that you wish you had as a commander,
Oh, dude, the
pugmander?
fucking they need another hotbar, dude. They need a fucking siege hotbar
A siege
for
hotbar? What do you mean?
for dropping siege, man.
Why do
I
they
want
need that? How hard is
I
it to
want
open up your thing, go to your shared inventory slot,
I want
double click it, and then drop a siege?
dude. I don't even have shared inventory slots. Fuck that. Like,
Oh no.
no. What I want is I want literally just to be able to hotkey shit. Like I have so many hotkeys in other games. Like this game, like
Oh,
doesn't
so
even
you
give
want
me a
it so that
bar.
if you hotkey your fucking catapult, say you put it to A, without even opening it up, you just hit A and it drops the motherfucking catapult?
Or it puts it in my hands, then I hit A and then one and it drops it. You know what I mean? Like I just want
That could be interesting. I'm not opposed to
I
that.
want to be able to hotkey items.
That's not a bad idea. Okay.
Like just like basic shit like that. Like just be able to hotkey items. Like make me pay for it. Like I don't fucking care.
I don't care
Like
about that either. Yeah, I think they could do that. And what about like the other thing? I wish they had like a programmable fucking like a wheel, a macro wheel, so you could say things.
Dude,
You
just
know,
allowing me to have macro like chat macros.
yeah, be sick, dude. And take
I-
off the
I was-
stupid, the stupid thing where you fucking like mute yourself by saying the same thing too many times.
Oh yeah, dude.
They
It's
they
so
want
often,
they
like,
want text manders and pug manders, but you say fucking stab more than 4 times and you're squelched. GG.
dude, saying build more than 4 times, like that's my number one thing that I say is build, right? And it's just like fucking people don't read chat. Oh man, fucking awful. In Albion Online, right? So I was part of a community called Team Casualty, or Take Care was our alliance name, and we were like the number one alliance in season 2 and season 3, I believe. Maybe it was just season 3. What would happen is, so Albion Online, you have these huge Zergs versus huge Zergs, way bigger than what we have here because it's a top-down game. But it was always hard finding your commander, and the commander would just constantly, he'd like before the thing, he'd queue up like 1,000 texts to just like fire off because it had like a chat queuing thing. So like our commander Ellipsis would be shouting out, or LeBron James would be shouting out, "Not one step back," right? And it would just fill the entire screen above his character, and you'd never fucking lose the commander in that game, ever, never, not a single time. And it was just such a good system to have that, where he could even just queue up text like that, even if you didn't have macros, so everyone could see them. Like imagine having a permanent speech bubble above your head so people could see
That
you,
would
because
get
like
that would
right
get
now
annoying, to be honest.
it would get annoying for some
But
people, but
I wouldn't mind the like a text wheel for people that want to, like right now I'm text manding, but it would be cool if I had like a text wheel like say stab up, be ready to push, just auto give me like 6 commanders that I can just like hotkey up,
yeah.
and they honestly get typed out there above my head. That'd be pretty cool.
No, I'd be acceptable for either. Like I honestly think your solution would be way better, but like I would accept anything. Like Beggars can't be choosers.
Okay. Anything else that you'd like to see as a commander?
Better housing in game. No, but no, that's
Please.
the PVE side, man. I want to see GVGs. I actually want to see GVGs. I like actual GVGs. Like bring the Guild Wars back to actual Guild Wars. This bullshit where it has to be player ran and stuff is fucking, it's awful. It's honestly like the whole point, I feel like, between Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2 was just fucking lost in that, but Guild Wars 2 became like this theme park
That's
trash
because you have too many
compared to
casual
Guild Wars
players,
1.
dude. There's no
Well,
fucking way. Like, this game is so fucking casual, but even as casual as it is, it is so hard to put together an organized, competent pug group. So when you're talking about competitive game modes, these guys are not capable. ANET is just not capable. I
well,
hate
I
to
mean,
say it to
I
you.
just want it. I just want it to be there for people who want it, right? I think you would you'd give the people who really like World v World and everything that World v World encompasses, and not just the fights. You'd have those players playing World v World, and then you'd have the people who are like, you know, the hardcore watch VODs, you know,
I
sweat
think
over
that's what
what
they tried to do that
skills.
with PvP, and they couldn't make it happen because they just don't have the I don't want to say brain power, because that would be insulting, but the resources to fucking make
Well,
3 game modes work. Forget about
I
4.
don't think that they need to balance it. Like, just leave it World v World balance, right? And like leave it to the players to
So
find
you
the
just want to
broken
be able
shit.
to queue into an area
I want
with
to be
20
able
players.
to be like, this guild has been trashing on dog. VIP, come at me, and declare on VIP. Make it fucking cost real life money. Make it cost fucking in game gold. I don't care. But then I want in my history, dog beat VIP, right? And
Do you know
yeah,
how many
that's
people would
basically.
quit this fucking game? Do you know what the problem is? And I like your spirit, to be honest with you. But this is a game where there's not a single fucking group, not one. Even the fucking full 50-man nomad bullshit, they even got beat a handful of times. Not often, but still a handful. There isn't a single fucking group in this game, player in this game, commander in this game, that hasn't been beat by every other fucking player, commander, or guild. So if that being the case, there's so many fuckers that are just afraid to lose. Like they lose, like something is gone if they lose to someone else. Like some type of like fucking item or like trophy or anything. I don't even know why
Where
they're
I'm
afraid to fight.
come, they
But
call
if
that
you did
being
something,
frail.
if you did something like that, these fuckers would never fight. Forget about it.
No,
It-
no, like I don't think it. I think that it's kind of like, you know, you have like, let's say you have to assign 3 times a week, right? So this is a system off of like Atlas or like one of the open world uh survival games, right? You have to fight 3 times a week. Like, you have to have the window open, and there is no accepting. You choose your 3 times a week, right, during whatever hours you choose, and you can get declared on during then, and the attackers have to like match your window, and if you lose, you lose. And then they could do some sort of season mechanic around that, you know, have it wipe this tarnishment off their record every 3 or 4 months or something.
I think it's an interesting idea.
Because you look at, you look at like New World. That's what New World did. Like, you actually had these GVGs that were, I mean, New World GVGs were dog shit for other reasons, but the idea was there for it to be actually a pretty competitive thing.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's an interesting idea, to be sure.
I mean, just think. So like, you send up, you fucking, I don't even, what is your guild name, Indo? I don't even know what your guild name is.
I don't even know what my guild name is. What am my guild name? Dog
Isn't it like
biscuits.
Dog Biscuit? OP? Is it OP? Is that what you guys are?
No, I'm dog biscuits, bro. What do you mean?
Alright, so like fucking Dog Biscuit says our strongest time slot is between 7 and 9 on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, and then any guild can go up and be like, hey, we want to fight Dog Biscuits, but we're a bunch of Korean players. But you know what? We're all taking off work on fucking Wednesday, and we're gonna declare on you. They declare on you. You wait a week, right? And the match goes through, and
And what
then
do you get if you
basically
beat dog biscuits?
you get a fucking shiny little trophy for your guild hall that doesn't even matter.
Interesting. I mean, anything to encourage more fighting. I'm not against it.
Like
Could be
I
interesting, maybe.
just think that it would give it would you'd have to pay some sort of gold thing to make it work. So like you don't just have like random like little shit guilds trying to like rally your members in the middle
I
of
think
their window or
the
something.
Player, let me put it a different way. As someone who has a hard time putting together people who are willing to play comp, I think you're gonna have a next to impossible time putting together players that are willing to pay gold to go into this ultra competitive game mode. I think
Well,
it's
so-
just the sliver of population that would be interested in that is gone. And the problem is that this game, for all intents and purposes, is one of the most casual fucking games out there. Like even for World v World, like
I can
people
agree with
think
that.
like A guild and B guild is like strong and all that, and there's a couple of guilds out there that use a little bit of cheese for their success, but quite frankly, numbers being equitable, all due respect and honesty to all players and guilds out there, if you have a comp and you have a fucking meta, that's essentially a 50% win ratio right there. Straight up. Like, it does not take much to be successful in this game. It really, really doesn't.
No, I can agree with that, and I'm not saying this would have to be like 50 people for this system to work by any means. I think it more realistically it would have to be like at most 25 or maybe even like 15, something to give the smaller guilds something to vie for, right? And then maybe you wouldn't have all these like little fight guilds taking up server slots that just roam around and take camps all day.
Maybe. Maybe. I'm not against it. I just don't know how it would work.
Fuck, put it in for a week. Let's try it.
I'd take any content at this point because all Internet has done for World v World is remove content. They haven't added
Yeah.
anything in. They took out orbs. They took out the dinosaur event. They took out the fucking middle fighting area. They've taken out basically everything. They have yet to add anything.
Bring
Even Red BL, they couldn't do right. So I don't know.
bring siege turtles into World v World also. That'd be fucking sweet, dude.
Now you're just memeing.
Oh man,
Now
no,
you're
no,
just
no, no,
memeing.
no. Siege turtles, like make them like one per 50-man squad or something like that. You have to have like at least 25 people to like hit F on it to build it. Oh, dude, and you can only have one per map. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, siege turtles are the future.
Please stop. You're giving them terrible ideas.
No, I love, dude. So
Lord.
the terrible ideas were one night we were like memeing about ideas in Discord, right? And we were talking about making it so you can't pass through other players, right? Just player collision, right? Unless you have
collision.
full stamina.
Did you ever play
player collision.
Warhammer?
I did play Warhammer.
Dude,
and
that
I
thing
fucking
was
loved it.
That thing was a shit fest initially.
I loved it so much, man. But we were talking about it, and Grouch was in our Discord with us, right? And he's like, "You guys, that would never work in Guild Wars."
Number one, it would melt their servers because these guys wouldn't know how to implement it efficiently. But number two, like, just think about fucking player collision in this game, and because you know what the problem is, this game is like 80% choked anyways. Imagine
Right.
player collision in a game that is already 80% choked.
Oh, dude, I'd fucking love it, man. I'd love it. Like
Oh my God! Please
you'd
stop.
have, you'd
This
have your
interview's over.
players.
The interview's over.
You'd have your players sitting in fucking
Oh
full
Lord.
minstrels and nomads in chokes, and they'd be basically your shield wall. And then you'd have to go through and you'd have to save all your stamina and like roll through them.
I
Oh
would
my God, it
I
would be
would actually
so
I'd be
good.
down for that if they cut out 90% of the siege in this game. That could be interesting. Like if they got rid of 90% of the siege and then you had to play somewhat strategically like that, it could be interesting. That's actually not an entirely
Oh
terrible
yeah.
idea. But as we all know, if they keep things the same and they do that, you basically have a shield wall right here in front of you and then the entire back walls lined up with siege. And then how the fuck would you break that?
Yeah, no. They and don't get me wrong. This is definitely a fringe idea, and it has already been shot down by Grouch. So it's never happening. Like this we didn't even know Grouch was in our Discord, and then like he was in there. We are just like memeing about it. He's like, "That's never gonna work, guys," and he just fucking like he just shits all over our idea, and I'm like, that's fair, but still, let's try it for 1 week. Just 1 week.
You know what I'd love for 1 week? Fucking no walls or no gates or nothing upgrades.
No walls and no gates. Oh, that'd be great.
Nothing upgrades. Fucking do no walls, no gates, no siege for 1 week. Just make it a fucking like an open I don't know. It could be interesting.
I'd also like to see increased supervisor health for like the side nodes and stuff like that.
You know what's an idea I floated to ANET is for a way to balance this game, possibly the game mode, is every side has X number of fucking guards. All right. Let's just say the number is 100, and say or let's just make it. How many structures are on a side? Let's see, 3, 6, 7. So let's say 8, just for argument's sake and to make the math simple. Or 10. So when you have 8 structures, those 10 guards are split between the 8 structures. And then when you take, a next structure, it splits up again. When you take a next structure, it splits up again. So as sides take more structures, the guards are split up less. And eventually to the point where the further away your structures are, there's no guards in them. So it does 2 things. Number 1, it allows the opposing servers to take back structures a little bit easier. But number 2, say you're left with 1 structure only, all your fucking guards spawn into that 1 structure to help you hold it longer too. They should make a little bit more. They should make it a little bit more dynamic like that.
I'm down. Make it happen. Make these guards as strong as fucking castle lords though, like SMC lord, dude. Make this guy these guards dunkers.
Well, if say you had 1 structure left, all fucking 8 of the lords would spawn in the last structure, right?
Right.
So,
and then
whatever the number is. Whatever the number is, that's the number. But say you had fucking only 1 structure left, right? And you were getting double team. All your guards from all your other structures would spawn in your keep. Or say you took everything plus SMC plus another corner, and you're working on the 3rd corner. All your guards would be split up to the point where some of your structures would have no guards in them at all, no lords in them at all.
And could you imagine the ping you would gain by prime time, full server queue versus full server queue, and you take their last structure? Oh man, it'd be fire. It'd be fire, dude. You get a title for it and everything. Oh, it'd be no, I fucking love this idea. This idea is great.
Just an idea. It's just an idea. Could be interesting though.
Not guards. It can't be just like guards. It can't be like the bullshit guards. It has to be like SMC lord style. Like you can't.
I don't know about having 8 SMC lords in your keep though. That'd be pretty fucking toxic, bro. 8
SMC lords in your keep, dude. It has to be something that it has to be a chase goal.
I could see 1 keep lord and then say 4 tower lords are in your keep, but not in the circle because the circle's already a pistol flip. But all your guards are spread out in your keep, so that it's harder for your enemy to take it.
Yeah. At 8 SMC lords, but they don't regen health. At least not at an accelerated rate when they're out of combat.
Bro, you're
they
drunk.
Still regen
8 SMC lords, 8 SMC meteors. You lost it, bro.
Not
8
stacked
SMC
on top of each other. You don't have to kill all of them. You could just go for their lord, right? But if you
want to do that, you have to get rid of the circle, the contest circle. It should just if you want to do something like that, you just have to kill the lords. You don't have to contest the circle then.
Oh yeah. I'd be down for that. I'd be down for that. That'd be way better. No, I'm totally down for this. I love this idea. This idea is 10 out of 10.
I'm gonna leave it to you to make it happen then.
Dude, I'll talk to the ANET guys who chill in my chat, dude.
So what is Dog doing for alliances? What am I doing in this Dog guild for alliances? Where am I going?
I don't fucking know. I'm not the guild leader.
Yeah, but you're the main commander, bro.
Yeah, I don't even know anything about like alliances. I'm such a noob, man. I really am. I just click on World v World and it looks like I don't even know. I don't even know. It says unknown. We aren't joining another guild for alliances. That's for fucking sure.
You just work
We don't. Yeah, I just work here. Like we had drama with like some drunk guy coming. He joined our guild and was just like spouting off like terrible things, and I had to kick him, and it was a whole issue. I had to like jump through all these hoops to kick him, and then someone re-invited him back to the guild, and fuck it was awful. Like I just work here, man. I have no idea. Like I tried to get like low to like be like, hey, you know, so Pugs, like, do you know the guild Pugs?
The guild that died?
No, they're on Emery Bay.
Oh, I thought they died.
No, they run like almost a map queue when they run. They they run 3 times. Yeah, you might be thinking about a different Pug.
Who's the guild leader of that guild?
Oh fuck if I know. No idea.
Okay.
If Animo's
anyways, go
here.
on. Carry on.
But Pugs like approached me and they're like, hey, does Dog want to ally up? And I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't think I can get 350 members into an alliance, dude.
Okay. Well,
But
PBD.
and I talked to Lo about it, and Lo's like, oh, alliances are never gonna happen, so it doesn't even matter. I just won't play that week. Like, it's whatever. It's that old player mentality. Nothing's ever gonna change, so we don't really care. They lost hope.
What about, so this is a question I've asked all the commanders, so I might as well ask you. What is your stance on open field ethics and etiquette, i.e. ash jamming if there's 2 even-numbered guilds already fighting, or pin sniping? Specifically those 2 or anything else?
I don't pin snipe, and I try to make sure that my guys don't pin snipe as well. I tell my guys, like, the only time I ever express anything about mowing people, I tell them most of the time not to run it, and the only time I allow it, like, and ask them to run it is when we're fighting against people who are constantly mowing me and pin sniping me, and that's the only time. That is the absolute only time we do anything. I don't even track the other commander. I don't put marks on them. I don't do anything like that. I don't even I have everyone has normal models on. So, it's not because I have a bad PC. I don't want to notice anything about the enemies. I want to have a fair fight. As far as ash jamming goes, I'm fine with that. I think that that's part of the game, and it is 3 ways and stuff like that. Sometimes we'll wait until like it's over and then go in, right? But it's kind of like play it by ear there. I'm not necessarily against it, because like at the point where it's 2 evenly guilds going and you go in there, right, and you're like trying to like fight them, I think then it's like a 3-way and that's okay. But if you're able to like take on both of them, I don't like that. I don't like. I want everyone to have fun, right? I don't want to kill my own content.
What's fair?
And that's the biggest thing. I don't like guilds, like even Coin, right? Like Coin thanked me for fighting them. Hate thanks me for fighting them. God, what guild is Nutty G in? The last Gates of Madness guild? Who's in Gates of Madness?
You're asking the wrong person. I don't even know who I am
Uh,
at the time.
God, I forget what guilds on Gates of Madness, but those people always were in my chat and they always thanked me for fighting them and stuff like that. Like I try to be respectful as possible when fighting people. The only people I don't really like are Foxy Guild, and that's
Really? You don't
because,
like
dude,
Foxy?
I
The
like fighting Foxy.
Foxy
I
lady is
don't.
really nice. She's always
They're,
nice to
they're
me.
really they're really nice people, but when you get in their Discord, have you ever been in their Discord?
No, I very rarely join anyone's
Dude,
Discord.
they bat. So like as a pugmander, I guess it's like just a thing that like upsets me because I like all my guys are pugs. Like I get in their Discord, right? And like every time they die or something, like it's like they're all like one person will say, "Man, if only the pugs were with us," and then all of a sudden it's like 20 people bashing on how bad their pugs were.
Really?
Yeah, it was
Really?
awful the past like I went in their Discord
Fuck.
3 times and I was like, yeah, I'm just not gonna join their comms anymore. And I was playing like Firebrand or something, or like, something meta, and it was not fun when we were with them.
I I can see that type of behavior from players. And this is not to disrespect Foxy. I think Foxy knows exactly their value. Um, and I'll say that I think the Foxy lady's a pretty nice lady. At least she's always been respectful and nice to me. But they're kind of like a pug average type of guild anyways. I don't know why they talk shit about anyone. That doesn't make
Right,
sense to
right.
me.
Well, it's not like specific people. It's just the in general thing that like it's never their fault. It's always the pug's fault. Like in my stream, a lot of the time for me, I'm always like, oh, like I fucked up there. If we would have done this better, I moved up too fast. But you never heard that when I was in their comms, and maybe they were just having a bad week or something, So like I can't discount that. But it was definitely a lot of pug bashing, and it did not make it fun for me to be in their Discord.
Interesting. I guess everyone blames pugs then. That's the whether they're a
Yeah.
good guild or a bad guild, everyone just blames everyone else.
Well, well, I mean, they don't mean pugs the guild. They mean like the
No.
players in
That's what I
general.
mean too.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you're blaming other people for your failures.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
And if like, so like the reason why I don't agree with that, right, is because you look at like groups like Chew, you look at like Girl and stuff like that, and Dad, and you look at their core, right, and their core will go into these groups that are double their numbers and just survive, right? It's not about winning; it's about surviving, right? And then you go into like Foxy's, and then they die, and then they blame the pugs, and it's like at least have a little bit of responsibility there and accept it that it wasn't all the pug's fault, or at least in the cases where I was there, right? Like I can't speak in general, but like as I saw it, it was not fun to be in their Discord.
I mean, fair enough. Teach their own. I'm sure there's people that say that about my Discord. Quite frankly, it's
Yeah, I fucking hate it in here. No, I'm kidding.
every commander is an acquired taste. Quite frankly.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Some
I
people
definitely
like
agree.
following others. Some people don't, and you know. I got into it the other day with this guy. I think. Oh shit! I almost died. There was this guy that wanted to play DH, and we're trying to help him to see the light of why DH isn't that strong, but he just refused to consider anything but DH. And then he was like, "You're a toxic commander." I was like, "Well, I mean, that's certainly your right to believe that, but I am what I am." The thing about pugmanding and commanding, it's a pretty open social contract, right? I don't have to command for you, and you don't have to follow me. So if you don't like the way I'm doing it, by all means, you have 3 basic options: go follow someone else, don't follow anyone at all, or tag up and do it better. Right.
One thing that I do, and no one's taking me up on it, like people will trash my tag, and I will straight up invite them and be like, here you go. Like straight up, I've done it multiple times, and not a single person has taken me up on it.
Well, I think that's people, like to bitch and moan, but then when they actually gotta fucking do it, they're quiet as a motherfucking mouse, dude. Like, it's easy to, fucking throw fires, but when you actually gotta fucking tag up yourself, no one wants to put in the work or the effort because it is work to command. So what's your general worldview, world philosophy? We briefly talked about it, but,
Just have fun. I want everyone to have fun, man. And I tell my guys this, like, yeah, I want you guys on meta builds and stuff, right? And I think you will have more fun on meta builds because we will win more often, and who doesn't like winning, right? But at the same token, I don't. If you're not going to have any fun playing the Necro, just play whatever, and we'll make do, right? Like, it
a little
sucks,
bit
but
too lenient for me. The way I look at it is like, I agree with you to a certain point. Play whatever you want. Play what makes it fun for you, but play something that's effective. There's like literally 10 different fucking, if not more now, probably 15 different fucking builds you could play for various classes. Pick one of the fucking 15 that makes you most happy, but pick one of the 15. Don't go out
right,
there and fucking pick some random ass shit that does nothing for anyone. Like, if you want to play a solo build, then go solo. But if you're playing part of
exactly.
the team is relying on you, right? The team is counting on you to play a
Well,
position. Play the fucking position.
so my thing is also like, if you are a dragon hunter god amongst mere mortals and you pull fucking Zerker numbers somehow on your dragon hunter and you never die and you are just popping off nonstop, being the most useful motherfucker out there, I don't give a fuck what you
You
play as
find
long
that
as you do
dragon
it
hunter, you
well.
send him my way, because
No, 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 no.
those don't
He's
fucking
gonna train
exist.
all of my other dragon
Those
hunters.
don't
Yeah,
fucking exist, bro. I'm sorry to break it to you. Not in the current meta.
exactly. It's a unicorn, but it might be out there someday. You know what I mean? Like, that might be out there someday. But like, a good player is going to be good
But
on most classes. They're just
agreed,
going to be
agreed.
better
But
on.
that's the point, though, right? Like, if a good player is putting out on a class that isn't in the fucking, say they're a great player, right? They're an S tier
Mhm.
player playing an A tier class. Their carry potential is less than an S tier player playing an S tier
Right.
class. So if you're in that class where you're a really really good player, and you may be playing with a lot of average or below average players, I feel like if you really want to be there for your team, you're gonna really push the envelope on a class that already performs fairly fucking well and has some extra carry potential.
But for me, at the end of the day, if they're going to be happier on that A tier class versus an S tier class, and they're still an S tier player,
You
I'm
want them
down
to just play
with.
with that.
Yeah, I just want them to play it and have fun. We can make it work, right? Because it's not up to
You
them to
you
carry the
can
whole
make
group.
it, but I don't know if you can make it work. Like, you can run,
Yeah,
but to
right.
find success, not running optimal things like that, I mean, you're just gonna eat L's all day, unfortunately.
Yeah. Sometimes that's just how it is when we have people who queue up as Dragon Hunter
I think that at that
or
point, like, the guild just needs to understand that if you're taking the effort to tag up every night, say 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. or whatever your hours are, and the X number of players are taking the effort to, log in and join you for those hours, at a certain point, there should be a relative understanding, respectful understanding that, hey, we're here to play with and for each other. Let's, make it successful. Like, why are
and
we logging in every night for the last 4 months to just bash our heads on the fucking against the wall?
and to be honest with you, it isn't the people who are consistent who aren't playing meta.
Okay.
It's the more inconsistent people who play less often and
I
aren't
think if you're
about the
playing,
team. Like,
I think at this point, if you're playing 3 days or more, you're in that consistent category. 3 days or more should be
yeah,
fucking
that's
hard.
fair. That's
Have
fair.
that team mentality.
No,
Like,
a lot
it's
of
work.
people do.
It's work to command. If you're there for your commander, you should support them the best way possible. Like there are often times where we're like changing up our meta and playing different things, and people like I'm like I need a chrono or I need this, and people are like I just really don't want to play it. But at the end of the day, if that's what's gonna bring the complete the puzzle, people will step up, you know, and I
Yeah,
appreciate
no,
them, and
no,
they have
and,
my
and
appreciation.
that does happen a lot. That does happen a lot. I'm just a little bit more lenient when you know it's someone who's better, you know. Like and I try to get all the new players. Like I'm like, no, you're not playing that dog shit fucking heal Daredevil build. You're playing fucking a Tempest or a Druid if you want to heal, and if you want to do damage, you're playing a Zerker or a Necro. Like, end of the day, that's what I like to run.
Yeah. Well, I think you're pretty more or less on the same page. You're a little bit more lenient than I, but
Yeah, yeah, and I have had messages from people who say, you know, you might get shit for this, and we might not win as much, but I feel like your group is the missing puzzle piece to it because it's kind of a bridging between like, you know, my group and say like your group or say Penguin's group, where they're less lenient on meta builds and like players are able to hone their skills up a little bit easier here because I'm more lenient on what is allowed and more relaxed commanding style.
I mean, I think that's a fair point, but you never want to be, at least in my opinion, you never want to be the stepping stool. Like I think that's most
Right,
unfortunate
right.
because you're putting in the effort for your future growth for your your
That
guild and your group. I hate for anyone to just join you guys because it's easier to get their feet wet, get comfortable, and then they peace out and join, you know, quote unquote.
I have yet to do that, and I've actually
Okay, that's
had
good.
it happen the other way, where people from these hardcore groups want something a little bit less, and then they join my group because of that.
That's good. That's good.
Like, I don't know who fucking Monkey See and Monkey Do are, but I'm sure they probably watch your stream since they watch my stream. But like, these two guys they're fucking goated necro TPS that just literally came out of nowhere and they acted like new players, right? Like, they're someone's alts, but they've been playing with us 3 to 4 times a week.
That's, a lot of people in this game nowadays are just looking for a consistent commander. You know, like, and
Yeah.
they don't if there's potential, right? They don't mind, you know, playing, you know, to see that potential play out, quite frankly. And you seem to have a good head on your shoulders. You seem to have a pretty solid, you know, expectation and at least short-term plan. I see no reason why you can't be successful. More so than you already
Yeah,
are.
thanks.
So, before I open it up for the Twitch Tassie questions, I'm going to let you plug your guild. How can people join your guild? What times do you run? Like, what server are you on? Like, tell them the full fucking advertisement.
All right, so we run at 8:30 Central Time, so that's 7:30 PST AM until 11 AM PST. That's Fiddy's group. My group runs 9:30 PST until basically the content dies out, and I'm usually on earlier than that, just chilling. Honestly, just join SBI and say, "Hey, X dog." like I'd like to join dog, and someone will invite you. Like, that's basically, and if you don't get an invite, just join my open tag and I'll invite.
He has fucking. I took up one spot until I get kicked. Anyways, there's only fucking 13 spots left. So if you want
Oh
in,
no, I'll kick more people. Like,
as long as it's not me, right? Just don't kick me, bro.
yeah, probably it won't be you.
Don't
But
kick
who
me.
knows?
Come on. What do you mean who knows? Don't kick me.
I'm not, dude. There's so many people who have kick powers. Like, I'm surprised I'm not kicked.
Don't kick me. If I get kicked, just reinvite me.
Sure.
I'll bridge the gap between the EU and the NA. How about that? Hell yeah.
There you go.
Let's go. All right, let's open it up for the Twitch. Anyone have any questions for our boy here?
Oh, one last thing. You can check
yeah.
out my Twitch as well. Like,
Yeah, type it out.
SaigaX. on.
Are you in the stream? Type out your Discord
Yeah.
and your Twitch for everybody, please. There's the Twitch, and then type out the Discord too. Dog is on SBI. They have 3 commanders regularly. They're trying to get up there.
Let me get my
Cats allowed in dog.
Yeah, dude, we have people.
Don't just say it.
Guild.
Okay.
There is a cat biscuit guild. There's the dog Discord.
There's the dog Discord. There's the Twitch. Okay. Anyone have any questions?
I just went live on Twitch. They can't hear you or anything like that, but I do stream every night from 8 PST until 1 PST.
Okay. I don't stream anymore, but I'll try to.
You should. You should.
This is a little bit negative what I'm about to say, but this is how I'm feeling at the moment, so I'll just say it like I feel, and I don't give a fuck about the game mode, so I kind of stopped promoting it.
I just want to, so like, you know, as you're older, right, people fucking find other things to do than game, and I've noticed that in my group of friends, and they're very stuck in their ways. Fucking boomers be fucking booming, and they don't want to play anything that's out of their realm of comfort or, you know, doesn't interest them fully. They don't want to socialize, so, you know, finding new friends to play with is hard. So I've moved from game to game, you know, picking up people that I like and building communities.
Well, I initially started streaming, those of you that remember, during COVID to help promote the game during the COVID years, and I actually did it solely to help promote the game, but I don't know. These guys don't have a lot of respect for the World v World streamers or appreciation, I feel, so I just can't say
I totally
I can't
get
say
that.
I give a fuck. If they don't give a fuck, why should I give a fuck, right?
Right. And I mean, like, I do it not to necessarily promote World v World, but I do it to promote like myself and my friends to elevate our community, because I do run a gaming community, right? It's kind of a little bit exclusive, invite only currently. We are planning on breaking into Anvil Empires when that comes out as well. Okay. And that is completely separate from dog.
If I'm still in the doggy guild, you can holler at me.
Yeah. But
if I don't get kicked by then. If I don't get kicked by then.
You probably won't, because you're active. They're not gonna...
And I'll be the bridge commander in that game too. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're ready to hold a shield wall, because that game's all about shield walls.
Alright. As long as you give me a spear.
Dude, it'll be like, I think if you have you heard of Foxhole?
The game?
Yeah.
No.
Alright, well, Foxhole is like think of it as like a World v World or World War II simulator where you're like fighting on the front lines and you like have like supply lines that you have to do, and it's like huge battles, like 1,000 v 1,000 and stuff like that. It's kind of shitty top-down stuff, and they're making another medieval style game that's like low fantasy, so like no magic as of right now, but it's gonna be like medieval combat and like shield walls and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of cool.
I don't know. We'll see if they do something to reignite my fucking spark or hope in this game mode. I'll stream more, but as of now, I think I'll just do the Commander Talk radios. Like this week, you got you. Next week, I think I'm gonna interview Molasses. Molasses, if you know him, he's a funny guy to talk to. He's very chill.
What guild is Molasses commander of?
Cook. He's the guy we're fighting right now. Let me see if I can find him. Where is he?
Okay. Yeah.
He's here somewhere.
Yeah. I think he stopped in my stream. He stopped in my stream.
Maybe.
He's like, I don't use Twitch, but thank you for the fights. Like,
yeah,
literally, that's what he said.
He's a nice guy. Where is this guy? He was right here. Anyways, I'll find him if I can. But yeah, he's a commander.
But yeah, no, I appreciate the podcast, man. It was a lot of fun.
It was. Hold on. Does anyone in Twitch have any questions for Saiga? Before I let you go. How did you learn the command? Okay, that's a good question.
You know how like when your dad takes you and he's like, "Hey son, you need to learn how to swim," and then he throws you into the river? That's basically what happened.
You got thrown into the World v World River.
Yep, got thrown in the World v World River.
Okay. Anything specific? You just tagged up and just started doing it.
I
Learned
just
as you went.
tagged up and started doing it. I mean, like I've been a shot caller for years, so like commanding in World v World is just, you know, don't stand in the red, right? Know when to dodge, time
When will
stuff.
Saiga turn on post processing?
Never,
Anthony with
dude.
the
That's
big fucking questions
awful,
over there.
Dude, Anthe has to wear sunglasses to stream.
I've actually tuned in for a couple of Anthony's streams. I've enjoyed it. She's funny.
No, she's definitely funny. People call her the big dragon Dami mommy.
She's pretty good at support too. I've seen her on Druid and Tempest. Not too shabby over there.
Yeah, no. She's good. She's good. We're trying to convince her to come to SPI.
Oh, you're fucking sniping
one
her
of-
from
one of-
Bullyfoot?
One of our guys, Callie, he's in your chat, bought her World v World armor in order and to grease the wheels.
The sniper?
Yep.
Damn, look at
Dude,
Anthony. You
our
got a
group,
premium attached to you. What?
Our group has even fucking we bought someone a legendary
Yo,
to come over too.
can you just buy me? I'm looking to ditch my guild. Can you just buy me over to?
I mean, hit Callie up. You know, he'll see what he can do.
Just buy me, bro. Let's go. I'm ready to mark it up. What's your take on the idea of squad healing only, where supports can toggle heal those in squad party only? It's already kind of like that, but why don't you
Yeah,
give your take?
I think it's already kind of like that. I don't know.
You know, boons. Your question, by the way, Callie, is like boons and healing prioritize sub squad then out of squad anyways. So very rarely is anything gonna fall outside of squad, which I think is a point that many players don't understand, because all these fucking greenies around us that aren't in squad are getting dick all from our squad. But we're taking mitt from them. Like, that's what they don't understand. People, when you're running around following other squads, but you're not actually in their squad, you're just giving them mitt, but you're not getting any heals or cleanses in return, or boons. It's not gonna fall out of squad. No way, Jose. Go ahead, what are your thoughts?
No, that's pretty much my thoughts as well in that whole manner.
Moving off SBI in hopes of getting him bought back. Poor JCN with the fucking 4D chess plays to make gold.
Dude, JCN has to fucking decide on a non-shit main in order to fucking do that.
What is JCN playing?
Fucking, you were playing like Thief or some shit the other
JCN,
day.
why are you not a team member, bro? You're like a fucking, forget a team member. You're just anchoring poor Saiga right here. You're just anchoring him.
He played Druid for like 30 minutes and played like Spectre for like 8 hours.
Oh, no,
so like,
bro. Oh no. I mean, if there are like I'd take a Spectre if they're God Spectre. Spectre is not terrible. It's not terrible.
it isn't exactly a Spectre. But the thing is, when you tell Pugs this, or like anyone this, when you're like, I'll take one Spectre, the next day 5 show up. Like, and it's awful. And like with the queues and stuff, like I fucking hate making people wait in queue.
That's terrible. You know what they could do in this game? Ideas is they should allow you like a 1-minute window to change classes where you don't lose your spot, where you could quickly log out and swap classes without losing your spot in the fucking queue. Give yourself like a 1-minute grace, or if you crash, you have 60 seconds to fucking get back in.
Yeah. No. Definitely needs that.
Any other questions? I'm a thief believer. The queues would never move. Maybe they should actually. Some of these servers deserve to be unlinked too. Quite frankly, I think they should unlink some servers. They don't need them.
Yep, I agree. I think they need to reshuffle all the servers, but yeah.
I think if they're not going to do alliances soon, just nuke the servers and do random matches. Call it a day.
Yep. No, I'm down.
Absolutely fucking nuke the servers and call it a day. I updated my question. What is your question?
If a squatty gets yoinked and you are for instance, charging water overload as a Tempest, if they come back to you and you're already healing a pug, it doesn't dynamically change back.
But
Oh.
that's a rare instance of what you're talking
Yeah,
about, to be honest.
I wouldn't want to lock it to squad still. I think the importance of having it, I don't know. I'm also for like less supports because supports are such an underwanted class. Like I want to bring back from what I've heard, the 10-person meta where your boons hit 10 people.
Really, I found that supports are more played now. That supports get more bags than DPS. Supports get a lot
Send
more
them my
bags than
way.
DPS.
Send them my way. That's what I'm saying. Fuck. Anyway, I think that's a good spot to call it. I gotta start my stream, so
Take it easy. Thanks for joining. I'll publish
You
it
too.
on Twitch and YouTube later. You guys can check it out. If you're looking for a guild on SBI, they're recruiting. They have 3 commanders through 3 different time zones. But on that, it was nice talking to you. Thanks for joining, and tune in next week. I don't know how much I'll actually stream, but we'll get more commanders lined up. If you're a commander out there and you want to just shoot the shit and share your opinion, just DM me in Discord and we'll get you set up.
Are you gonna be streaming more tonight?
I don't know. I actually only turned it on the stream this week to get set up for you, quite frankly.
Oh, okay. Cool.
But
Well,
we'll
then
see.
raid me then. Send him over my way.
When I call it, I'll send it over your way.
All right, man.
All
You have a
right,
great
take it
night
easy.
then.
You too.
Thanks again. It was great meeting you, Indo. I just want to say that, and I have mad respect for your group. Just as closing remarks, you know, like you do well. You seemed really polite in letting me sidecar you guys, and so thanks for that.
Well, no,
And I
no
hope to
problem.
have next however long you stay on Koenig.
Don't kick me out
So-
of dog. Don't believe all the people that
I
say I'm a
won't.
bad guy. I'm not. I'm a nice dude. You know, but I'm
Chew loves you too,
competitive.
Saiga.
And
Thank you
on
for
that,
that,
it was a pleasure meeting you as well.
All right. See you
All right,
guys.
brother. Have a good night.
You too.
Take care.